Satan in a forest. Hello people, I'm Sablast. Today we are learning how to record black metal vocals. So let's start immediately. First things we are going to talk about what do you actually need to record black metal vocals. So I'm not encouraging you to buy fancy expensive stuff. I will be happy with you even if you record with a mobile phone. And later I will show you how I actually started with my black metal vocal recordings. But if you want to be on an amateur level, note I'm not a professional, I'm an amateur, and the things you will need as an amateur, these things you will need as an amateur. So first of all, obviously you need a microphone. This is a Marantz microphone, a little bit better upgrade than my old Focusrite microphone. This thing is not expensive. I think it's around 50 or more bucks. You get everything you need in box, and a nice thing even for start and even for some a little bit advanced vocalists. Basically for black metal, it's a pro thing. Second thing you will need is obviously a microphone stand, so you can stand when you sing. I'm not encouraging you to buy a microphone stand. You know, I started without it. I holded my microphone like this when I recorded my first black metal stuff. So, but if you want, you can buy it. They're not really expensive. And a pop filter, it actually prevents letters like P and B, and when you do it actually stops it to get it into your microphone. Obviously you can record without it, like for example stand a bit further or put your hand like this or a pen or make your own pop filter, but again it's a nice thing to have. Then the thing I don't have is like an isolation box, which you can also buy. I'm not against it, you know, I just don't have it. It's a useful thing to have because microphone does speak some sounds from your background, you know. I can stress enough how irritating it is to sing and actually finding out that your microphone captured some sounds which you didn't want them to be here. There are a lot of microphones. You can have condenser microphones, dynamic microphones, small diaphragm microphones, large diaphragm microphones, ribbon microphones, a lot of microphones, but I think for recording it's the best to have a condenser microphone like this one here or this one. And the thing you will actually need the most if you want to record let's say a more clearer sound, and if you want to record something else which is not, you know, only vocals, it's a good thing to have some sort of a preamp, if we can actually call those things preamps, audio interface or a little mixer. But actually you can just plug your microphone directly into your computer. That's how I started, and I'm not encouraging you to buy these things. So, but if you want to be a little bit more advanced, it's a nice thing to have some sort of a little preamp and a little mixers. I like to call them little mixers. I think they cost for around 30 bucks, and if you get used, maybe 15 bucks. So just to make your sound clearer. And the thing you can also see on my desk is a little DI box. It's a good thing to have when you record some other instruments, but I don't actually use it for my vocal recordings because it actually converts your unbalanced signals into balanced signals, and it actually crushes your dynamics a bit. And we actually need some distortion on our black metal vocals. Now this is the thing. Okay, we're done with gear now. We are going now how should you sing distortion. A lot of black metal vocalists or bands, one-man bands, put distortion on their black metal vocals because they can't actually sing black metal. I would suggest that you don't do that because it sucks. No, don't please add distortion on your vocals. Use distortion naturally. Try to learn it naturally. See how my voice is vibrating. It's a natural distortion. Now let's check, let's say Satan in the Forest with added distortion. Satan in a forest.
Satan in a forest.
Satan in a forest.
Satan in a forest.
Satan in a forest. That's it. Second thing I would like to just say when you record your black metal vocals is try to scream. So you need to scream. So you need to be louder than your talking voice. This is my talking voice. When I sing, it has to be louder. So I have to adjust on my audio interface now just to make it a little bit, the input level a little bit lower so my black metal vocals can cut in. If I start singing black metal vocals with these talking settings, it would actually clip, and we don't want that. It's actually a good idea to scream louder than your talking voice. And those motherfuckers who sing like this, Satan in the forest, empire. Okay, I'm over exaggerating, like, okay.
Satan in the forest.
With all the respect to LGBT community, but that's fucking gay. Don't do that. Don't sing like you're talking. When you sing, okay, now I will turn down my gain level so you can see how it's done. Be right back. Do you hear my voice now? Yeah, it's a little bit lower because actually that's my singing levels.
Satan in the forest.
Let's check my levels now. Levels 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. These were actually my singing gains, so I had to lower the levels a lot to be able to sing. I didn't do it that good, but actually I got my levels right. Now when we have some of these little tips, we can actually start with the mix. So how we recorded it, have some guitars, have some bass, have some drums. We sang, got the levels right, got everything right, pressed record, recorded. Now let's go into the mix and see what's the thing we have there. And please don't do distortion as an effect. You can use delay, you can use a reverb, you can use some equalizers, you can use everything. People say that they don't use effects on black metal vocals. That's a fucking lie because we're not deaf. You can actually hear the reverb. They can put only reverb, but they put some effects. We can create some natural reverb, of course, but it's a good thing to add some effects on your vocals, just not distortion. Okay, let's go into the mixing now. So here we are in Reaper. I like to record 3 different takes, as you can see. So the first take and the second and the third. And for example, the second and the third, I pad 140 to the left, the second one 40 to the right, and just lower the volume a bit, for example, -7 dB. And for example, if I don't like a part in a song, for example, let's mute parts. Like, okay, let's first hear the whole part I recorded. As you can see, there are some tone fails, there are some rhythmic fails, and that's why I recorded 3 takes. So, for example, I don't like this part. I will just cut it like this. Okay, like this, and put this one, and maybe use this second part as like not main part, like the second vocal, which is 40 pan to the left, like this. Doesn't sound that good. Let's say, for example, I will use this part. A bit better. Let's just fix it a bit like this, and this one like this. And then we have like the fixed part, so that's why I record 3 different vocals. But let's use the main vocal like this anyways. So like this, and now you got this tip, and now let's check how I mix the vocals. So I don't usually do like triple vocals, like do the full stereo mix on vocals. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, but I mainly like to focus only on one vocals on the middle, pan on the middle, like this. So how did I mix it? I have, for example, as you can see, a few effects. Event horizon. We'll just turn it off so you can see how it sounds without it. And just explain, I won't say a detailed explanation about that effect. I will just tell, you know, some like you're a dummy and explain it that way. So event horizon slash limiter clipper. Mostly people use it, let's say, not for clipping, but everyone uses it to boost the volume. So without clipping. So let's check it. Without limiter. With limiter. Now you got the idea. Second effect is the spitfish. It actually, the most basic explanation, it tames the highs. So without spitfish. Okay. Then the delay. I use built-in Reaper delay. I don't use much delay, so you will see now. Maybe you won't even hear the difference. Let's check without delay. Okay, now some EQs. I use, as you can see, 2 different EQs. First one is just cut the lows. Let's check it. This one you won't hear a big difference, like this. And this one I just boosted the highs, so made my vocals a bit higher, more high. And let's check it. I think on this one you'll hear the difference. Let's check without it. That's it. And the most popular effect is the reverb, of course. Reverb, I always like to boost the reverb. On any instrument, reverb is the most friendly black metal effect. Reverb, let's check it. Without it. And on the end, I think the plugin where you won't hear much difference, but I always like to, not always, but I like to use it. I always cut somewhere between 0 and -5 dB is the compressor. The most basic explanation for a compressor is just evens out the vocals. So if there's a louder part and a more silent part, it just, you know, makes them more even. So compressor is always a nice thing to have. I use an SSL Native X compressor, and let's check. I think you won't hear the difference on this one. Okay. And that's it for my some tips in the DAW and some effects. I use the most basic guitars and only two guitars, some simple drum beat and the bass. And my vocals now I just made them a bit more louder so you can see how it sounds, and that's it. The most basic thing about how you mix your black metal vocals, and that's how you record black metal vocals. Till next time, I'm Sablast and see ya.